Hi, everybody. Once again, we are here for the March Once Upon a Book Club box. To get some housekeeping things out of the way, first of all, I want to say congratulations to my youngest sister, Leslie, and her new fiance, Cord. They got engaged the day before Easter, so I'm so happy for them, and I am so excited to plan this wedding, you guys. It's going to be amazing. And we got to get on the ball. So right after this, I got to start calling a couple venues for them, and we got to get this done. Second thing I want to get out the way is last time a question came up about the shipping. I tried to answer the roundabout way because I had lost the original shipping emails, but this time I kept track for you guys. So just to kind of let you know how it goes, so that in case you're wondering about getting this box or you're kind of antsy and you hear about issues about shipping, I'm going to give you step by step on what happens. So on March 15th, which was a Friday, I got an email from the company telling me, dear Miss Gray, we want to let you know that your March Ship of Dreams adult box from Once Upon a Book Club will be shipping via Ground Advantage. You can track your package at any time using the link below. And they gave me a link with the tracking number. And then they said this notification means your label has been printed, and that's in bold. Um, these boxes are set to begin shipping on Monday, March the 18th, and will continue until ship is complete. It said, please note your tracking number may take up to 7 business days to show movement, but rest assured your box is coming. So on the 15th of Friday, they tell you that your boxes aren't even going to start shipping until that Monday. And even then, it may take 7 days for you to actually see movement. Now, I checked on that link every single day. My package did not get movement until Wednesday, March the 20th. That's when the United States Postal Service, USPS, that's when they actually got my package from the company. So 15th, got the email that they would start shipping on the 18th. They did not get my package until the 20th. It did not start moving until the 21st, which was a Thursday. And when my package started moving, they told me you'll get it on the 26th, which was a Tuesday. However, I did get it a day early, so I got it on the 25th. So email on the 15th, uh, movement would begin by the 18th. It did not begin until the 20th. Well, they got my package on the 20th. Movement started on the 21st, and I got it on the 25th. So I'm going to actually, when I count, I'm going to include the actual 15 because when you do subtraction, it excludes the very first number. So just to let you know, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. It took me 11 days from the 15th when I got the email to when it arrived on my doorstep to get the package. So if you do get this box, please be patient. Know that they print out the label and they send you that email with your label number way before UPS or USPS will ever get your package. You just need to be patient. So now that that's out the way, our Ship of Dreams box, which as you guys know, they always, if you don't know, they send you a hint on what's to come and what's going to be special about your book before it even comes. And this one was Ship of Dreams, and they let you know it's going to have special end pages. It was going to be a whole other print. There were going to be questions in the back for readers. It was going to have a whole different book cover from the actual book. So this book is Sisters of Fortune by Ann Lee. I'm going to say Huber. I think if it was Huber, it'll be two B's. But I'm going to guess it's Huber. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, I do greatly apologize. But Ann Lee Huber. This book follows the Fortune family. I'm sorry if you heard that ding. I'm still logged into work. I have a midnight deployment tonight, so I'm taking a break from work until later on. So I'm recording this around 4:30. I'm taking a break because I have a midnight deployment, but I'm keeping my email on just in case they need to contact me. But so if you hear that chime, it's just my work email, but I don't have to work again until midnight tonight. So let's get back to this. This book follows the Fortune family. The Fortune family it's on a trip from Cairo, and then they're going to take a cruise back to New York, and then they're going to take a train back to their hometown in Canada. The Fortune family is a self-made family. Their dad made very great investments, ended up getting a lot of money, and lived up to his name of Fortune. So while these sisters are in Cairo enjoying themselves, so the family is a mother on the trip is a mother, a father, three daughters, and a son. The dad decides at the last minute to tell him, "Hey, I got you guys a cruise. We're going to take a cruise back, and it's going to be the best cruise ever." The three sisters that go on the trip are Flora, who is the eldest, and she is engaged. Then you have Mabel. She's dating a guy, but her parents can't stand him because he's a musician who they don't think is going to ever amount to nothing. And then you have the youngest sister, who is Alice, who is also engaged. And then they have a younger brother. They call him Charlie, and he is all about ships and nautical stuff. So Flora is in her late 20s, and she's engaged to a man that she doesn't really love, and he doesn't really show love for her either. She's only marrying him because it's what her parents want. They think he's a great guy. He's perfect for her. He will help continue on taking care of the family the way that you would expect the soon to be head of the family. Uh, I do get where Flora is coming from. Being that I am the eldest in the family, I know that if I do ever decide to marry, that guy has to be able to take on the role of taking care of the entire family, because that's my role as of now, is to make sure that my two younger sisters are okay. Even though one's married with three kids, the other one's now engaged to two really great men. It is still, in my eyes, my job to make sure that both of those families are okay. And I know that, as like Flora, I have to make sure that if I marry a guy, he understands that you are now the paternal figurehead of an entire family because you married the eldest. And I think that's why I tend to gravitate towards men who are the oldest in their family, because then I don't have to explain that to them. It's something that they already know. So I connect more with Flora and her duty to family and doing what's best for her family. But while they've been gone, now mind you, they've been gone for 3 months. Her fiance's only wrote her one letter. So she's only heard from him one time during this entire trip. And so she's getting the feeling that he doesn't really love her. She doesn't really love him. But she's going to keep on going with the marriage that kind of, because it's what her family wants from her. Now, while she's on this boat trip, she ends up meeting this tennis player from a wealthy family named Chess, and she really likes him and thinks he's great. And he says his quote to her that's on the back of the book of "Don't ever forget how extraordinary you are." And I'm gonna tell you right now, some dude say that to me, I'm gonna melt. Like, come on now. So she's starting to wonder, will my family be okay if I dump my fiance and get with this new guy who comes from a great family? He's a good guy. He has a future. Or are they going to look down on me for not standing up to my obligations and tell me, like, no, we want you to marry the dude you're engaged to? Now, the middle sister, Mabel, like I said, is dating a guy who her parents actually cannot stand. Think he's a layabout who's never going to be nothing, but she's doing it on purpose. She's doing it just to irk them. While she's on this trip, she meets other women who are educated, and she wants that for herself. But she knows her family will say no. We want you to focus on being a wife and being a mom and running a household, because you don't need an education because we are wealthy. We can find you a wealthy husband. You never have to work. Why would you want to do that when you don't have to? But she really wants to be a lawyer. Now Alice is the youngest sister who is engaged and completely in love. Her and her fiance are writing letters back and forth. She cannot wait to marry this guy. The only problem is that now she has the travel bug. She has wanderlust. And she knows that her fiance, from his letters, as soon as they get married, he wants to start having families and get in the house and do all that stuff. And she's like, but I really want to travel. And I can't, and it's hard for me to do if I have a baby in a household. She's trying to figure out a way to convince him to maybe get married, but wait a little while to do all the other stuff and travel. And another thing that she knows is that he gets seasick easily. So she's like, how do I convince him to just slow down a little bit without losing him? Now, this is something that my mother and my father did. My mom and my dad got married when she was 17 and he was 19. People already assumed that she was pregnant. She wasn't. And they actually traveled for 2 years before I was born. So when I was born, my mom was 19 and my dad was 21. So they traveled for 2 years and was just a couple. So I get where she's coming from, because some people is like, hey, let's live a little before we just go full on into grown up world. And so they're on this boat, and these three daughters are just in these huge, what's the word I'm looking for? They're in these catalysts in their life, and they're trying to figure this out. However, when you read the book, the first thing you learn is that the boat that they're about to board is the Titanic. So yeah, they are about to get on the Titanic trying to figure out their lives, and they have no idea what's about to come, and they believe the hype that they heard that the Titanic is an unsinkable cruise ship. And if you've seen the movie, if you know the story, you know what's about to happen. Now, it took me a minute. Like you guys, I'm going to go ahead and tell you my true feelings about this book. It took me a minute to get into the book, because if you ever watch The Kings of Comedy, Steve Harvey makes a joke about the Titanic, the movie, and says that while we all crying about this little boy, we know what's about to happen. Bring on the water. I was reading it going, okay, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? And I was kind of going through the book. But as the story picked up and you kind of get to know the sisters more, then I was actually sinking my teeth into the story and wasn't looking forward to the drama. It's as macabre as that sounds, and I know I sound like a jerk when I say that. It was that feeling of when the water is going to come. So I actually had to stop myself from looking up when the Titanic actually went down, so I could focus, because as you're reading, it does give you dates. So you know where they are, and like the things that they're seeing as they kind of go throughout. So it kind of lets you know what's going on. So it's just crazy to know. But if you know the date that sank and the time that it sunk, you kind of know where you're on the story. But I stopped myself from looking up, because I wanted to know. But as you're reading, you can tell that the writer did the research, like legit research. She knew about where they stored their jewelry, colors of things, the fact that they were taking bets on the boats about how fast they would get to places. They were gambling in parlors and salons and tennis courts and just all this opulence. So she did a lot of research, and she talked about how hard it was to decipher what was real from what was fake. And the Fortune family is a real family. But when she starts, when in the writer's notes, she lets you know what was real and what was fake about the family, and what things she took liberty with. One thing was Flora's name. Flora was actually the real person's middle name, not their first name. If you want to know the first name, read the book. But she lets you know that, hey, and in the end, when you get to the point where it's just her note, she lets you know that this is what actually happened. This is how it ended for them. This is where I got my inspiration from. Like, she explains all of it, and she says that, hey, if I got something wrong, I apologize, but please don't come at me, because the book is done. She can't go back and fix something like a lamp color. She can't go back and fix that now. It's done. But if you watch the movie Titanic, you kind of have a visual for what she's explaining in the book, and so it's a solid book. It just took me a minute to really sink my teeth into it. So I will say the gifts help, because it gave me something to look forward to. it took about, I would say, about 70 pages for me to really start sinking into it. And it stopped like describing the boat, and you kind of get out of some of the internal monologue going on. And it start around page 75. I really sunk my teeth into it, and I was looking forward to reading the next page and not just opening up gifts. So, speaking of gifts, y'all want to get into the gifts you're gonna get? All right, so all the gifts I'm about to show you, I will link dupes for. As you guys know, there's stuff that is specially made for this box. So I'm not going to I will find you something close enough to it if you want to buy it. But I'm pretty sure if somebody doesn't like something that's in their box, they'll probably put it on Poshmark. So if you see it and you like it, look for it on Poshmark. You might just find it there. So the first one was on page 24. And and I took it out the box and I could not get it back in here. But it was page 24, and Flora was talking about how there was a green bag for them to keep their treasured items that they didn't want to check in. So if they had jewelry, but they just didn't want to check it in, there was a little green bag in everybody's room they can put their items in. So the first gift was packing cubes. And it was green. It's a nice color green. Now, I will say the one thing I do love is I love this color because it can go for anybody. That cooler bag that I had in my last video, I'll link it at the end of this video. My dad got that cooler bag right now because he wants to go fishing with his friends, and they wake up so early in the morning that nothing's open. So he wanted to actually make something to eat, put it in the cooler bag, and take it with them. And because it's a nice neutral blue, he was able to say, yeah, let me borrow that. If it had been like my other cooler bags that are like pink with flowers and, he wouldn't have taken it. But the fact that it's a neutral color, it made me so happy. So that's why I was so happy when I saw these, that these are packing cubes that are a nice neutral color. If my dad needs packing cubes, he's not going to be ashamed to take these with him. Okay? Let me tell you, my dad is the type of dude that would tell his daughters that we can do anything, that the only thing that we can't do is make sperm. But that man is not going to wear pink. He is all women's lib, all that stuff, but he is not going to wear pink. That's just something that man will not do. So, packing cubes. You actually get 6. So let's go through these. You get 3 size laundry pouches. So that's one laundry pouch. Here's your second one. Here's your third one. It's a lot smaller. So 3 different size laundry pouches. 1, 2, and 3. Let's kind of get you that idea with the size. And then you have your packing cubes. So, and every single packing cube has, the 2 smaller ones have a handle. It opens up pretty wide, I will tell you that much. Opens up pretty wide. It actually has a little bit of depth to it. It's kind of hard to see, but it does have some depth to it. This is the smaller version, and it has a handle on it. So I would say this is for more for your cosmetics. This can be for shoes and socks. And then the bigger one is for your bulky items. And it does have a handle. I had it upside down. It does have a handle on it too. So those are 6 packing cubes that you get for page 24. So let me put these away. And if I rubbed it across my laptop, I'm sorry. And I'm going to try to finish this up before it gets dark. The next gift comes on page... first of all, how cute is this box? It looks like a little piece of luggage. You see that? I actually was very careful when I opened this box. I honestly want to reuse it. And that's the level of adulthood that I am, that I'm excited to get a really cute box. And I have plans to reuse this. So we'll figure that out. But do I want to use it for somebody else's gift, or do I want to keep it for myself? Let me know down below. Should I keep that box for myself, or should I use it for someone else's gift because it's a super cute box? But that's what we're doing. Page 140. Mabel was following these educated women, and she wanted to have a moment to talk to them without her father. And she found one in the library reading Phantom of the Opera. So, here you go. Phantom of the Opera, and it is actually a container case. The dupe that I found for this, it is a metal container that looks like a box. However, it has black felt inside, so it's not a complete dupe, but it's similar where it's a container that's metal that's shaped like a book. So this actually reminds me of the popcorn buckets that they had for Mean Girls movie. If you saw it, they had the burn book, but it was a popcorn bucket. So this is actually what this reminds me of. I don't know specifically what I'm going to do with this. Maybe I'll put some bobby pins in it and all my hair ties that are all over the house. I can use it for this, and that way it can actually stay somewhat organized. I'll figure it out. If not, it'll probably end up in my niece's room upstairs because girl gonna do what she gonna do. So as I was reading the book, the reason why I had this piece of paper in here is as they were talking about the ship was going down, there's actually a QR code for a song that the band was playing as the ship was going down. Let me hold that so it can be seen better. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I thought that was actually funny because it wasn't listed as one of the gifts, but it take you to Spotify and you could hear a song that they played as the ship was going down. And I'm gonna tell you, I feel like it was a little messed up when I heard the song. I'm like, really, dude, we about to die and you're playing this. Okay, to each his own. That was on page 267 where you got the QR code for the Spotify song. Now the next one was on, I think it was, sorry, I left the bag this one came in upstairs, so give me a second to flip through. I believe it was 331, and it pretty much says that Flora and Charlie go to grab blankets because they know the ship is about to go down. It's cold, so they grab some blankets to go outside. So for that one, you get this faux travel blanket. It's faux cashmere. It's 71 inches by 47 inches, so it is very long. And yeah, faux cashmere, so it's very soft. And it has these really cute leather straps. I found a dupe for this, but it's wool. The other ones that had straps like these were fringes, and like I said, I try to get as close to dupes as possible. And so this one had the straps with the blanket already in it, with no tassels, but it was wool, not faux cashmere. And the straps, it's really cute because you can hold it and travel with it. And then the tag has the White Star logo, first class on it, New York to Liverpool. You know, sorry. Yeah, I don't know why I say they were traveling from Cairo. They went to Cairo and then ended up in Liverpool and went from there. But it has a tag on it. I thought that was a really cute design. And it had the handle, so it was like the old timey early 1900 cases. So the dupe is down below. So that was the 3 gifts you got with this box. So like I said, you got the Phantom of the Opera container, the blanket, the travel cubes. So 6 travel cubes, the Phantom of the Opera container, the bag, and your book. And then you get the 1 Spotify song. So if you guys got this box, and yes, my hair is crazy right now, I know. You don't have to tell me. I just decided to wash and let it be and not put any heat on it for a little bit to get my hair a break. But if you got this box, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the gifts. Are there any gifts that wasn't for you? Are there any gifts that you wish you had gotten? If so, click on my links below to get you a dupe of the gift. Did you like the book? Did you read the book? Did you connect to a sister? Let me know all of that down below. I mean, tell me everything you want me to know. This girl is not going to stop you from typing. And I try to answer everybody when I get back. And once again, if I come off rude, I apologize. It's because usually when I'm answering these things, I am typically in a work meeting and I'm just trying to answer a couple things and then be quick about it. So don't read as being rude, read as being brief. And I will try to bring any answers that I give live on here in a later video. So, Sisters of Fortune by Ann Lee Hubbard. I would give this one honestly a B plus. Didn't hate it. Out of the books I read, still The Women is probably my favorite, but this is still a great historical fiction book. So, all right, guys, that was the March Once Upon a Book Club box. In life, there's black and white, but this girl right here, and because it is starting to get dark, you're actually getting 2 shades of gray. And I'm sorry about that. I should have done this way early in the morning. All right, guys. Bye.